Hey, it's me again, and today I want to walk you through a decision that's been on a lot of gamers' minds lately: whether splurging on a monster-sized laptop actually makes sense for the kind of gaming you do. I've been looking at the Acer Predator Helios 18AI, the newest 18-inch beast with a mini LED screen, an Ultra 9275HX processor, and a RTX 5080 GPU. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's talk about the real-world experience before you drop $3,500 on something that could either be a perfect fit or a pricey misstep. First off, the hesitation most people feel is about the size and the price tag. An 18-inch laptop is not something you'll comfortably slip into a coffee shop bag, and the 400W power brick is essentially a small suitcase. If you're the type who travels often, or you like a minimalist desk, that extra bulk can feel like a burden. On the other hand, if you're someone who spends the majority of your free time in a dedicated gaming or streaming setup, the Helios 18 can actually replace a desktop tower. It lets you keep a console-class gaming rig in a single chassis, which is a huge convenience if you switch rooms often or need to move between a work-home office and a bedroom. Let's talk about the display, because that's where the Helios really starts to earn its hype. The 18-inch mini LED panel pushes a 2560x1600 resolution at 250 Hz. In practice, that means you'll see ultra-smooth motion in fast-paced shooters like Valorant or Call of Duty, and the extra vertical real estate gives you a comfortable HUD in RPGs like Cyberpunk 2077. I ran a few 1440p games with the RTX 5080 at max settings, and the frame rates consistently hovered around 140,160 frames per second, so the 250 Hz refresh is actually utilized without you having to dial down graphics. The color accuracy is impressive out of the box: a deep black level and vibrant colors that make HDR content feel immersive. For streamers, you'll actually have enough screen space to keep your game window, chat, and OBS stats all visible on the same screen, which cuts down on all tabbing and keeps the workflow fluid. Performance-wise, the Ultra 9275HX is a beast. It can turbo up to 5.4 GHz and pairs with 128 GB of DDR5 RAM. That amount of memory is overkill for most games, but if you're into heavy multitasking, say you're editing video footage, streaming, and running virtual machines at the same time, you'll see the benefit. The RTX 5080 16GB card handles ray tracing without the massive dips you see on older GPUs, and the 2TB PCIe NVMe SSD eliminates any load time complaints. In fact, I loaded 3 AAA titles: Elden Ring, Starfield, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla simultaneously, and swapping between them was near instantaneous. That kind of speed is a real time saver if you're a content creator who needs to render and export quickly. Now, the practical downsides. The biggest one is the battery. The Helios ships with a 96Wh4 cell battery, which sounds respectable, but under gaming loads it drains to under 20% in just over an hour. In a real-world scenario, you're basically looking at plug in or pause the moment you sit down for a marathon session. For anyone who expects a laptop to double as a portable charger for a coffee shop binge, that's a deal-breaker. The other thing to watch is heat. The 400W PSU feeds a lot of power, and even with the advanced cooling system, the chassis can get warm to the touch during extended sessions. It's not a failure, just a note that you'll want a good cooling pad or a well-ventilated desk. Who should buy this? If you're a serious gamer who also streams, edits, or does any type of heavy multitasking, and you already have a decent external monitor but want the portability of a high-end rig, the Helios 18 is a logical upgrade. It's also a solid choice for esports pros who need that ultra-high refresh rate and want the flexibility to move the machine between LAN events and home. On the flip side, if you're a casual gamer who plays a few titles a week, or you already own a desktop with a comparable GPU, you'll probably see diminishing returns for the cost. The laptop's extra size and power consumption make it less appealing for students or digital nomads who need lightness over raw horsepower. Another practical strength is the connectivity. It comes with two USB-C 3.2 ports, an HDMI 2.1 output, an SD card reader, and a headphone jack. The inclusion of a USB port expander, though a bit of a niche add-on, means you can plug in external drives, a VR headset, or a capture card without fighting for bandwidth. The Wi-Fi 6E 802.11b also holds up well in densely populated apartments, offering low latency for online battle royale games where every millisecond counts. In terms of value, the Helios packs a lot of future-proofing. The RTX 5080 is still at the top of the consumer GPU ladder, and the DDR5 memory will stay relevant for years. The 2TB SSD means you won't be constantly juggling space, and the included Microsoft 365 personal subscription is a nice bonus for